Golfers, do you struggle with your takeaway? Because if you get this one move wrong, it can ruin your entire golf swing. It's super important. Lucky for you, I have 3 simple drills that we're gonna cover here in the next few minutes that are gonna get your takeaway perfect, and you're not gonna have to worry about it anymore. Isn't that great? My name is Maggie Simons, but my friends call me Mags for short because I help them master a great swing. So let's get right to it. So before we go into the 3 drills to perfect your takeaway, we need to understand, why is the takeaway important? Why is it that big of a deal? Why is it the one move that I care the most about in my students' golf swing that we get right? It is so important because it sets our swing up for success. If we get off in that first little bit, we're gonna spend the rest of our golf swing trying to make up for it. And let's be honest, we're not tour players, so we don't have the time to practice and perfect a little bit of an odd move. Are there some players that take it way inside or take it way outside and are super successful? Yes, but that is the very rare few. So we want to try to make our swing as simple as possible with the least amount of compensations as possible so that we can hit the ball as consistently as possible. What we are looking for in our takeaway, there's 2 main positions that I'm looking for in myself and in my students as they're taking the club back into the first part of their golf swing. So the takeaway, the position that we want to look at, is when the shaft is parallel to the ground in our backswing. The 2 main things that I want to see are that the club shaft and our hands are kind of right along our toe line. The second thing is that the club face is square, which means that that leading edge is kind of matching our spine angle. So this would be open, this would be closed. So we're looking for something right in the middle where that leading edge, those grooves of the club face are pointing slightly down, matching our spine angle. The 2 common tendencies that I see every day on the lesson tee with my students are that the club whips way inside. So now you can see when the shaft's parallel to the ground, the club head is way back behind my backside. The club face is way open, pointed to the sky. And then from there, they kind of get to the top, they might be crossing the line, and you can get a variety of different shots from here. You can kind of get stuck from the inside, hit huge blocks, or you can hit huge overdraws. Or some people, when they get to this position, try to get the club back on plane and then end up coming over the top, swinging to the left and getting a big slice. The other opposite tendency is when the hands and the club go too far outside, too far out in front. So you can see my arms disconnected from my body, club face and the club are way out in front. And from here, people will tend to lift their arms, have no depth, no turn, and end up having a very steep swing plane and swinging across it. We don't want either of those things. So getting to that happy medium where the club shaft is parallel to the ground on our toe line, the club face is square, is what we're aiming for. Okay, drill number 1 to perfect your takeaway. We're just gonna hold on to the club with our lead hand, our left hand for a right-handed golfer. I would say the majority of my students who don't have a perfect takeaway tend to whip the club too far inside. And so this is really, really good drill. And I think it's super important to understand that when we're doing these rehearsals, and even when we're swinging for real, if we struggle with our takeaway, we need to feel everything very exaggerated. So if our ideal position is to get here where shaft's parallel, club head is slightly outside of our hands, the feel is probably got to be here, okay? Knowing that we're probably going to meet somewhere in the middle of what we're actually doing and what we're rehearsing. So what I see with a lot of people who are working on their takeaway, they're just turning. So you can see if I just turn, taking my hands out of it, the club gets way inside. Others who maybe have taken the club too far inside will start to just lift the club and now it gets too far outside, I haven't turned. So by just holding the club with your left hand, we can get a really good sensation of the muscles and the way that our body should be working to get that club into the perfect takeaway. So I'm gonna take my left arm back to where the shaft's parallel. You can see I've just let my shoulders turn, and I've also let my heel pad of that left hand on the handle slightly push down. So if I don't use my wrist at all, the club is just gonna continue to go back behind me. I have to have a little bit of hinge to help that club start to work up a little bit so it doesn't continue to work behind. So I think Poor Zach Golf, great golf channel for you to watch. He has a drill he calls 10 and 10. It needs to feel about 10% up and about 10% out is the feel for those of us that tend to get the club whipped a little bit too far inside. So we need to get the club 10%, a little bit more up with that hinge, and then about 10% outside of our hands just to kind of meet in the middle to get that neutral takeaway. So again, we're kind of pushing down on that heel pad, letting the shoulders turn. You can see I'm in a great position, club head slightly outside my hands. Then I can put my right hand on and just let my body feel what that feels like. So do that a few times, left hand only, put the right hand on. Gives you really good sensation of the muscles that you're using to get to this position. I feel like my left arm is really close to my chest. You can see my shoulders have turned nicely. Club head is staying outside of my hands. Not a lot of manipulation there. So then once we do this a few times, put that right hand on. When you do put your right hand on at address, then just put it on there lightly and just feel like that left hand is doing the exact same thing that it was doing when it wasn't on there. And the right hand is on simply just to help guide it. So left hand only, there. Great drill to help you feel where that club should be, what muscles we're using in order to get to that perfect takeaway position. Okay, for drill number 2, to help perfect your takeaway, you need 2 alignment sticks. And I have ones that have a little bit of a foam noodle on it for a little bit of protection. So the way I've set this up is I have my target line on the ground, and then I laid my golf club backwards, kind of parallel to my target line. And then I set these sticks up. If you put your foot about like a half a foot on either side of that club, I've got put one stick about half a foot on the outside of my ball line, and then the other stick is about a half a foot inside of my ball line. So now I have this little bit of a gate here. Now, I would suggest not doing full swings here with these sticks because you might hurt yourself, but it's just a great way to practice feeling that club going through the gate. You get feedback if you're taking it too far outside, if you're taking it too far inside. Now, it's also important that we don't stand too far away because I can do whatever I want if I get too far away. So we want to make sure that we're just about a club length away so that if we do take it too far inside, we're gonna get that feedback. And again, even if I did that left hand only drill like we just did, you can see that that club wants to go right up through that gate. So just doing some practice swings. And then, you know, it gets harder if you feel like, okay, I'm doing it pretty good, you know, letting your eyes follow the club. But then try to do some with your eyes closed. And what you'll find is that you're gonna get the club a little bit more lost in space. But it's a great way to train, because if we just let our eyes follow the club, yeah, that's pretty easy. But if we can do it and have that proprioception of where that club is in space, right? See, that's a lot harder. And this is something that I struggle with in my golf swing, and so I work on this a lot. So I love this drill. And if you know for yourself that you tend to just take it too far inside, you could just take this outside stick away if you're not somebody that struggles to take it too far outside. And then you could just have this one feedback. And, you know, obviously the goal is we're not trying to hit it. And just see what it feels like, right? And then you can go up from there. But again, great tool, great feedback tool. You'll know if you don't do it correctly. And then the other important thing is just make sure that whatever club you're hitting, you set the alignment sticks up kind of on the same angle as whatever club that you're choosing to use. So again, here, club head is outside my hand. Again, the feel has got to be really exaggerated, knowing that I'm most likely in my full swing going to go back a little bit more to neutral. So again, great drill. Set up some alignment sticks, set up an alleyway, do some rehearsal swings, and really let your body feel that correct position. Okay, for our third and final drill to perfect your takeaway, you just need one of the alignment sticks, and we are going to attach it to the side of your golf club. If you have one that fits in the end of your grip, you can do that, but I just like to put it just down the lead side of the grip, and the club is gonna go right underneath that lead arm. And you just get kind of a little makeshift grip with that club that's sitting alongside your grip. Now, if I have an incorrect takeaway, either get the club whipping around way inside or take it really far outside, when I set up, I feel this alignment stick along my left side, along my left hip. If I do this correctly, I'm gonna feel this alignment stick staying along my left side. It might slide down my thigh a little bit, but if I do it incorrectly, whether I go inside or outside, I'm gonna lose the feeling of this connection to my left side, to the left side of my body. So if we can rehearse this and feel the stick staying on the left side of your body, you're gonna be in a good position. If you go too far inside, stick's way out. If you go too far outside, I lose that connection as well. So again, just super simple drill. If you don't know what the sensation is to feel the correct position, feeling the stay on your left side of your body. is gonna help you get into the perfect takeaway. Again, super simple, but the more we can do these drills, figure out what it feels like, and that's the thing, is what it feels like for me might be different feel for you. But if you do the drills yourself, you can come up with your own feel and your own sensation. This part of the golf swing is something that I've always struggled with, but I found drills that help me. And I want you to watch this one swing of the exaggerated rehearsal feel that I have, and then where that club actually gets. So the feel that I have to feel in order to get that club just to neutral into the perfect position is very exaggerated. And if you watch PGA, LPGA Tour players on the driving range, you're gonna see them have these super exaggerated feels. So for me to get the club in a good position, I have to feel it way out here. So don't be afraid to really over exaggerate those feels, and you'll be a lot more likely to get into your ideal position. So there you have it. 3 simple drills to help you perfect your takeaway. The most important part of your golf swing. I promise you, if you can perfect this one move in your swing, you're gonna be so much more consistent. You're gonna strike the ball better. You're gonna have way more fun. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know in the comments which drill worked best for you. And please subscribe to my channel so I can continue to bring you content like this every single week. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, there's a link down below to work with me through Skillest. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.